What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. When feminists talk about men, when they do that, I see Pinocchio. I see a lie because, unfortunately, a lot of modern day feminism was based on, a lot of feminism in general was based on lies. Okay? A lot of it was based on the trope that, feminists who were white women in the beginning didn't want black men to have rights. So black men became rapists. Thus, the birth of a nation and KKK. Black men became the people who were lusting for white women because white women didn't want black men to have rights, more rights than a woman or a white woman. So it wasn't about equality, It was the reverse. Because if it was about equality, that means black men and black women at the end of the day would be equal members of society. But they lied about that. So that part was a lie. But when you hear these stories, and people, and this is the good thing about social media and the interacting between men and women. When you hear these ladies' stories, to women the stories make sense because they're team woman. But to men, it's like, okay, I'm not just gonna give you a pass because you're a woman on this one. I'm gonna ask some questions. And when the guys start asking questions, the lies just start coming out. This guy didn't want to be in his child's life, so so I won't let him see his child. Why? Because the guy didn't come to the doctor's office, prenatal care type stuff. And it's like, okay, but you didn't say that you didn't tell him. You see what I'm saying? You didn't say that you didn't tell him when the appointments was or where the doctor's office was at. You just said he wasn't there. So you're telling a lie. It becomes that issue. The gender pay gap. Well, you didn't say that, men take more dangerous jobs and those jobs pay more, and men typically work longer hours than women, but we're not going to say that part. We're just going to say men make more than women, for doing the same job, leaving out if both people have a 40-hour work week, the guy might have more of a propensity to work 50 or 60 hours than a woman, and the woman might have a propensity to work, 30 to 40 hours than the man. So you're not being completely honest in this situation. So you're speaking about men in a lying, half-truth format. So now we're going to play this game where, when I hear feminists talk about men, it's a lie. Men are abusive. Okay. Now, are there men who are abusive? Yes. But the only abuse that counts is when men put their hands on women. When women put their hands on men, that doesn't count, even if, that doesn't even count for as self-defense. If a man gets hit by a woman and he hits the woman back, that doesn't even count as self-defense. So men are abusive if they are abusive, or if they're defending themselves, or if they're stopping someone from abusing them, physically at least. So, you see Pinocchio, because you're allowed to slap a man, kick a man, punch a man, and that's okay. Yes, we're stronger human beings, but that doesn't, being stronger than somebody doesn't make you a target. There are men who are bigger than other men and stronger than other men, but what they don't go around doing, but they don't go around abusing men because I'm bigger. And at the same time, smaller men don't go around punching bigger men and smacking bigger men. You bigger than me, you can't hit me back. We don't do that, because it just makes no sense. But when you hear feminists talk about men, it's a lot of gray area, and taking that into consideration where we talk about the hypocrisy of this, where, okay, well, what if men aren't involved in the situation? If men aren't involved in situations, will be great. It'll be utopia in the world. But then when men aren't involved in situations, then all of a sudden the world goes down the tubes, and then it's men's fault because you wanted to prove that you didn't need men. And when you went down that road, you actually needed men. It's men's fault for not being there because they should have been there, even though you said you didn't want them there because you wanted to prove that you didn't need them in the first place. And now all of a sudden, we should have known that this was going to fail, and we should have fought you because you knew it was going to fail too, but you just wanted to hopefully prove us wrong. Like, that's ridiculous. So when feminists talk about men, I always look at them like, man, you're not going to tell the whole story. You're just not. It's not, quote unquote, in your best interest, to be completely honest. So it's always going to be a half truth or a narrative. It's like, okay, it's a bunch of lie-splaining. How about that? But like, share, subscribe, or die. Try and catch you on the next one. Peace.